2014 CMA Awards, and Gretchen Wilson kind enough to step into the booth with us. And I'm really looking forward to talking to you because I listened to the song Chariot from the live album. I didn't know anything about it at the time, and out of nowhere, your daughter comes and it's kind of the introduction to your daughter.
Yeah, well, she was, only 4 years old when I recorded that song the first time, and it was one that we didn't ever get around to releasing on the first album. And as we were putting this together, I asked her, because I always felt awkward about doing the rap in the middle of that song. It always made me feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so since she's 13, I asked her if she would be willing to do that in the live DVD, and she said, sure, no problem. But now, of course, in hindsight, she's like, oh, Mom, I don't want anyone to see it.
Too late now.
Can we not show it to anyone? I'm like, it's a little late for that.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that her also singing I think it's the chorus afterwards? Or does it go back? Does she just do the rap? Or
she does the rap, and then she fills in. Yeah, she helps out with the harmony parts on the chorus.
She's
great. Yeah, she's a little, but she's not going to be a country artist though. She doesn't dig the country. She's a One Direction,
really?
5 Seconds of Summer. Oh yeah, I've been to so many of those boy band concerts in the last couple of years.
You know how that changes though. I mean, she could in 4 or 5 years find a country crush, and all of a sudden, boom, she wants to follow.
Well, what's interesting about her is that she's very into Broadway musicals. Like, when I was her age, I was trying to sound like, Madonna, and she's trying to sound like Judy Garland. It's pretty awesome.
You said you've been to a lot of One Direction concerts and those kind of bands. That just blows my mind to think about.
Sheeran.
Redneck Woman is standing there in front of Ed Sheeran. How do you find something to appreciate those shows?
I dig their music. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I mean, I can remember being 14, 15 and listening to what was hot and in the pop format at the time. It's all kids go through that. And
is that Hanging Tough? The New Kids on the Block, is that what it would have been?
Yeah. I mean, I remember Salt and Pepper when they first came out. They were like the original rapping chicks and everything. But she's across the board when it comes to her musical influence, except for country. She just doesn't like country. I guess that's because she's been too close to it.
It's, Gretchen Wilson has a new live album and DVD out as of last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. And it's been 10 years since you won the Horizon Award, and you came onto the scene probably about as fast as anybody in the last 10 years or so. What do you remember about that first year in the award show?
Wow, I just remember how nervous I was and how I didn't feel like I fit in. I guess
really?
when you're just a little, trailer park, small town USA girl, you kind of feel like I don't know. You get that feeling that you just ain't supposed to be here. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. These people are different than me. They're all. Yeah. Everybody just seemed classier than me. I felt like. You ever walked into some place where you're supposed to have on a suit and tie and you're like, ooh, I don't fit in here. Well, that's kind of how I felt. I think for the first little while, it took me a while to adjust to the industry.
Do you think it
was shell shocking?
I mean. You guys, I say you guys, Big and Rich and the whole Music Mafia thing. It was kind of an intimidating thing because you guys all had so much bombast and energy, and you're so loud.
It was bottled up. You know what I mean? Like we were starving to be able to show people our creative side, but we didn't fit the genre at the time. We didn't fit into what was hip at the moment in country music. We weren't soft. For me, I wasn't soft and sultry, and I wasn't that soft kind of a female. I never have been. I probably never will be. But I was really missing like the Loretta kind of sound on country radio and Tanya, and that's the kind of stuff that I write and what I like to perform.
I'm going to ask one more question, and we'll skip the one on the card. But there's a new group, Maddie and Tay, and their song reminds me of when Redneck Woman came out because it's in your face and it's not what we're hearing. Are there similarities there? Do you see that? And the song's rising very quickly as well.
Yeah.
Do you see similarities? And would you give a newcomer that is coming on that quickly any sort of advice?
Boy, I would just say, that you have. I think that the way to be successful, and I don't mean monetarily, I just mean in your head and in your heart, is just to be true to yourself musically and not to chase. That's not anything I ever did. I was so vastly different than anything else that was going on in country music at the time that I came out, but I think that's why it was successful. I wasn't following. I was doing what I do instead of trying to do what's popular. And I think that's the best advice that you can give any artist, new or even old. Just do what you do and do what feels right good to you, because following, I'm never going to be Patsy Cline, and there's a lot of young girls out there, probably that, shouldn't ever try to be me. They should be them. And that's what's cool, is being real and being unique.